I want you to be honest. Should I shave the beard? Part of me wants to keep it. The other part of me, not really sure if I like it. There are many reasons for you to not want your ISP or government to see what you do on the internet. I'm not here to judge you or assume why you might need one, but private internet access is running a pretty good sale. So check out the links in the description down below. Remember, you get a full money back guarantee if you don't like it. Try it out. If you hate it, cancel it. They offer good speeds. They can integrate with a ton of different applications like Deluge, Unraid, things like that. And you can even use your router to set up all of your devices in your house to run through a VPN. So check out the links in the description down below for that discount. What's up, YouTube? Jason here with the Jason Bytes back. Episode number Cracho Trace. Hey Siri, how do you say 43 in Spanish? Nope, completely ignored me. This is the series of which I go back through the last month and I answer random questions. Usually I start with the last Jason Bytes Back video. And as always, this video is brought to you by my awesome Patreon subscribers, the $10 and $5 ones, of which will be listed at the end of this video. So thank you, Patreon peeps, for throwing money at me like a dirty hooker. Anyways, it is November, Thanksgiving has come and gone, December is on the way, and that means Christmas and hopefully 2021, which will be way better than 2020. However, that means that I got my New Year's live stream coming up, which I already regret the hangover for. So, I'm gonna have to figure that out, how not to die again for like 3 days. So prepare your pants for that. Let's move on to the questions. The first question I have is from Umarest2009. He says, "Hi, thanks for the video, but is this HDR to SDR transcoding be executed by hardware transcoding, or does it require software transcoding? Thanks." Well, Umo, it depends. With this new feature from Plex, some operating systems are able to take better advantage of hardware accelerated transcoding. It really depends on your graphics card, what operating system you're running under, and really, if it's not supported yet, just give it time. It is a brand new feature. So, they have to update kernels and DLLs and executables and all that programming stuff that I have no idea, but they just got to do stuff. So if it's not supported yet, it will be, but primarily software encoding or CPU encoding is the most acceptable form of HDR to SDR tone mapping right now. Next question is from Steven. He said, "How about a test of the new M1 powered Mac for Plex? Mac Mini and a good NAS, ? Well, Steven, I've been a fan of iPhones for a very long time. In fact, I have an iPad. I haven't updated it because I wasn't that impressed by it, and I really don't use pads very often, but I like the iPhones for various reasons. However, when it comes to Mac computers, overall, I completely hate them. So unless they sent me one for free, which they won't because I publicly state that I hate them and I'm nobody on YouTube, I'm not going to test out a Mac Mini. It's just not in the cards because I don't want one. But hey, if it runs great for other people, then more power to you. For me, not interested. Next question is from Dirt Nasty. He says, "I've never in over 4 years had this error telling me the server is not strong enough to convert files for smooth playback magically, blah, 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 blah." Basically, Dirt Nasty, I don't know about this very specific error code that you have, but I have, on a few occasions, had a perfectly working server that just all of a sudden started acting funny. Normally I get like a codec error that says it's unable to transcode a file. I think I probably have seen the whole not powerful enough thing. And with all my troubleshooting and everything that I've done to try to fix this problem, it's always come down to either a failing hard drive or, more commonly than that, a failing transcoding directory. Nowadays, it's really easy to set your transcoding directory to RAM, so it's kind of harder for that to be the case. Usually in the past, I would transcode to SSDs, but just in case, I would probably check your SSD if you have that set for your transcoding location. And that includes your Plex data folder as well. So if I were you, I would take an SSD, hopefully you have a spare one laying around because who doesn't, move all of your Plex data over to the new SSD and assign that as your new primary Plex data directory, including the transcoding just for testing if you want to, and see if you're still having a problem. Because if everything's been working all up until now, that's kind of indicative of potential hardware failure. Next question is from Shadowband. On the Nebot robot vacuum, single-use bags should definitely be illegal. It should warrant massive fines, massive fines. I agree. And I picked this question because I want to say this again. I think this should be a thing. The Neobot robot vacuum is still my favorite vacuum that I've ever reviewed. It's the most reliable. It does all the things, except you need bags. And that irritates the crap out of me. And I really kind of feel like there should be some kind of a law that says unnecessary consumables are illegal. If a manufacturer purposely builds something that doesn't need to be there, that could be easily engineered around, or even has to go out of their way to engineer something, to use something consumable just to get your return business, I feel like that should be illegal. I mean, we're on a global scale of, waste polluting our planet. Things like that should definitely be illegal. And I vow that if I get voted into presidency in 2024, that I will make that law a thing. Just kidding, I would never want to be the president. Like literally, this world would die. Next question is from Family. I have a dumb question. With this mesh system, he's talking about a Deco system, does it still require the traditional router as a main base? Thanks. Well, Family, no, it does not. The system that in question, and most of these other mesh systems like this, traditionally have their own router, which includes a DHCP server, a web interface. You can set up port forwarding. All the basic things that you usually want to do with a router should be included in most of the systems. I can tell you that the Deco systems, the Netgear systems, those all have it all incorporated. So they all play a router. And all of the little pucks that come with this mesh system are capable of doing the routing stuff. So if you only use one or two, it doesn't matter, you're still gonna have the same functionality. With the mesh system, it just expands your coverage throughout your house a little bit more evenly. That's not to say that you don't have the option of turning it into an access point. So if you have your own router, something like a pfSense or whatever you want to use, you can hook up, a Deco system or usually other mesh systems like this and just use them as access points. Next question is from AB Caldwell. This is about laptops making great Plex media servers. He says, what is the best way to add multiple external drives to a laptop with a single USB port? Tried a USB hub, but it slowed everything down. Thanks. Actually, one of my admins on Discord, Big Spoon, you know who you are, he used to have an entire Plex media server set up with, USB hubs. And all night long, they would go, diddy-doo, 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 diddy-doo. This is just a nightmare of a Plex setup. He's recently upgraded, but that's just miserable. Don't do that, even if you somehow get it to work. If you get like 5 drives connected to a USB hub, you're asking for punishment. I honestly would just recommend getting external storage. A NAS device, for example. You don't even have to get a beefy one. You literally just need something for file storage, something you can stick hard drives in that's gonna be reliable, that's not gonna be slowed down by, a USB connection. Sure, you can plug in USB hubs and you can try to get your laptop to work if you wanna expand with external hard drives, but anything past 1 or 2, you're probably just gonna have a bad day. And the benefit to adding something like a NAS is that if you set it up in RAID, you will also get a little bit of redundancy with your data. Next question is from D Knight. Is this guy 2 years old? 3, maybe 4. Would have been nice to actually get a decent review of this product instead of watching this fool act like a child. Don't waste 2 minutes of your time watching this. I love this comment. This is on the video where I did the full body vibration plate. One of the goofiest videos I've done in a long time, and I've done a lot of goof, and it's gained a lot of traction. And if you go to that video and read some of the comments, people tend to love it. But there's always that one guy, that one Kyle or that one Karen that just wants to hate. And I love those people, especially when in the beginning of the video, in less than 2 minutes, I said, I'm not taking this review seriously. If you're a prude and you hear that, you should probably leave the video. I'm just saying. Next question is from JC Perillo. Thanks for the video after it was done. I actually went and moved my sensor to the rail like you have yours. I've been looking for the Collie for a while and even signed up for the beta, but it never heard back. I'm currently using a Sonoff SV, etc. Okay. I made the video about this garage door opener and I was under the assumption it was one that was already released. Instead, they already have one released, but this new version had Apple HomeKit, whereas the old version did not. In fact, I got the box that said no HomeKit. So I matched that up and I'm like, this is the right one. So originally I was intending on linking this new one with an Amazon link, but they told me that it's actually still in funding or something. It's supposed to be released sometime in December. But if you are waiting for the Collie, it should be released sometime in December, and it's worked really well for me. My only gripe is really with HomeKit, because you have to have a password to use Siri to open up your garage, and if you don't have a passcode on your phone, Siri just won't do it, and that's a little irritating for me. I also do have an Apple Watch, and I put the little icon on my Apple Watch to open up my garage. So even when I'm inside the house connected, I've hit that button, I've told it to open the garage, and sometimes it just doesn't respond. But that's more of like a long-term use. I haven't updated in a long time. They haven't even officially released it yet. So, I'm sure something like that could be fixed in the future. Next question. Josh, about drilling holes and playing with gas. I love the episode. Glad to see you're not trying to actually do the gas yourself. Overall, the garage is looking really professional. Nice job. Yes, you are right, Josh. Totally getting the gas, had the gas done professionally. In fact, I now have heat in my garage, and I have it set to a nice 65 degrees, which surprisingly, even though I don't have insulation in the ceiling above the garage, it holds heat really well, thanks in part to the drywall and the insulation I put in the walls and the insulation I put in the garage door, but it holds heat really well. Granted, it's only 40 degrees outside, so we'll see when it gets really cold outside. It is so amazing though, having garage heaters, just so amazing.
Burn, baby. Burn. Oh, it's so awesome. Oh God, it feels so hot right now. This is amazing. This is totally worth it.
Next question is from Shane. Again, drilling holes, playing with gas. Can I ask what your light bulbs are in the regular sockets? I've seen similar models, but curious which ones you went with. Well, if Editing Jason remembers, he will post an Amazon link in the description down below. If Editing Jason does not remember, harass me in the comments, and also look for lights that specifically say they are 100-watt equivalent, because there are a ton of these like cheap knockoff versions, and if you get them, they're like 40 or 50 or 60 watt equivalent, and they're just not really that bright. But the ones that I got put out 10,000 lumens at 5,000 Kelvin, so they're beautiful lights. I love them. They weren't bright enough for my new garage thing, but for what they were, they're pretty badass. Next question is from Jeff. Makes me glad to be married. Just call the wife, boom, it's closed. He's talking about the garage door opener, my worry about leaving it open. Jeff, that's great. One, wives aren't always home. Two, mine unsubscribed, so not an option. Three, next question. From Paul, dude, seriously, the racks are designed to go in the existing studs. You don't need to build a frame. I installed those in my garage and we do not need a frame. The whole idea of those mounting L bars is to give you the flexibility on location. I really love this comment because you completely missed the point of me installing racks where I wanted them and not where the studs were. Like literally there are no studs up against the wall I could screw it into. And studs are like what, 18 inches, 16 inches out? So, sorry, just doesn't work. But hey, if you don't know how to frame out new studs to, hang stuff the way you want to, that's okay. You'll learn. Next question is from Mountain X Free Ride. Truth about 4K transcoding. I can't get my Plex to stop friggin' trying to transcode 4K media. Plex needs to make it easier to figure out this issue. Well, Mountain X, the only thing I have to say here, very simple answer to your solution, is that it's your client's fault. For example, if you log into the Plex interface on the website, you will always end up transcoding. It'll be like a maximum convert if you're doing like a 4K, but it's usually always going to try to transcode it just because it just can't handle it. However, if you load up Plex Media Player, which can natively play these files without any need of transcoding, then it's not going to try to convert it. So if you are having problems with Plex always transcoding 4K media files for you, then you need to consider other options as a Plex client. The Xbox One, terrible at handling a lot of different video files. The NVIDIA Shield Pro, excellent at taking just about anything you can throw at it. So blame your client, not your server. I would definitely look into something like getting a new client. I may or may not be working on something here in the near future to answer which one you should get. Next question is non-existent. Last one. Well, again, guys, this video is brought to you by my awesome Patreon subscribers. So thank you, Patreon peeps. Your name's going to be listed in the back. Thank you very much for throwing money at me. If you guys have any questions, you want the best chance of it being featured, leave them in the comments down below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.
Okay, if you guys didn't already see this on Twitter, I'm planning another round of Plex client showdowns. That's right. I'm taking the biggest and the baddest this time. I mean, I am still going to be including some budget things, but like some new ones, TiVo Stream, for example. I didn't even know this is a thing. Never even heard of it before. $50. It's got its own remote, and it's got like a little dangly dongle thing. So, you know, this is obviously not going to do shit compared to something like this NUC or this Shield TV, but, you know, I'm going to throw it in there anyway.